1901, originally that was a library, and that's the most boring thing they make me say on the tour. It is. But right now, hey, that's a haunted museum. They don't tell you that when you buy museum tickets. San Antonio likes to keep secrets like I'm living here in a telenovela. But I'm going to tell her those secrets. That's a haunted museum, and this bridge doesn't have any welding since 1890. You're looking at the same nuts, bolts, and rivets from 1890. Nothing's changed, and no welding. And there are 5 bridges downtown like this. The newest thing on the bridge that you see right now is the pigeon poop since 1890. And that is kind of weird and crazy. But the weird part, I think, is there are 5 bridges like this with no welding downtown. And we've got 1 more to go underneath. 1 more to go. I'm going to let Miss Claudia come on by. She's driving the shuttle today. Y'all know what the shuttle is? It's like a river bus, a river taxi. I call it convenient. It takes you to 15 stops all the way north to the Pearl. You can hop on, hop off, hop on, hop on, hop off. You know what I'm getting at. This shuttle for 24 hours. You can use it for that ticket price of $20.50. You spend $15 to go on a 30-minute boat ride where that's 24 hours for $20.50. That's what I mean. That's a good deal right there. That's a good deal. There goes Mr. Nick. Ow! Now Nick, he just went by this romantic island right here. Did y'all see that island? That is Wedding Island, also known as Marriage Island. No less than 300 weddings happen here a year, and lots of proposals happen there too. And that is the luckiest spot in San Antonio to give a kiss, a besito. And that means everybody on the boat can get lucky on that island. That's right, right back there, romantic spot, Wedding Island. And there are 2 romantic bridges on the tour. This is not one of them. This is the bridge covered with little white spider eggs. Ew, I got you. That's gross. But 300 years ago, we didn't have bridges with spider eggs because we didn't have any bridges. San Antonio, 0 bridges 300 years ago. When you walked across the river, you got wet. You do not cross this river in the city where it's 25 feet deep. That's where you're going swimming or drowning. Why don't you come here 300 years ago where it's 2 feet of water, shallow, you could walk across here like you're Moses. Right here, only 2 feet of water. And 300 years ago, they called this Old Mill Crossing. This was the only place to cross on foot, horseback, or wagon back then. And ladies, we came to this little bit of water to do our laundry every day. And 300 years later, we're still doing laundry. Nothing much has changed. Not really. Be very careful with your neck and back. We're here upon our first tower of the city. There's only 2 of these towers downtown, 2 tall buildings. And this one here is called the Tower Life, built in 1929. This is our first tower. It's big and beautiful, but I don't like it. I don't like that building, because there's some nasty things on it. On the first floor, those heads are not Miss America or Miss Congeniality. Those heads, those cabezas, they're not so pretty. That's why they call them grotesques, because they're grotesque. Then on the top of the building, we've got monsters, and they call those gargoyles. The gargoyles have had their mouths open up there since 1929 and probably have some bad breath, too. Right? And all this nastiness on the building is supposed to protect the building, the owners, and everybody inside. That's why these are ugly. But 10 months after this sold, they didn't protect when the stock market crashed. Because the owners of this building, they went bankrupt and they had to sell the building they bought for $3 million for $300,000 the same year. They lost $2.7 million on one sale of one building in 1929. Now look behind the boat, you can see those gargoyles and the building a lot nicer. Easy on the neck and back. You can see why I don't like it with those monsters on top. They were supposed to protect, but they were just ugly. So that's not my favorite building. My favorite building is straight ahead with the green roof. I love that one, because that's where I have jury duty. Yay! jury duty! Yay, jury duty! That's the Bexar County Courthouse. That is the oldest and largest courthouse in the state of Texas. Bexar County Courthouse operational since 1896. And I do love jury duty there because, well, I get paid $6 a day. Then the parking's $20 a day and they don't validate. It's just great. Wonderful. I love it. We just went through that floodgate, folks. That floodgate protects the city, and we're going to go through one more. What also protects the city is below us. Below us is the first man-made section of the river. This is the flood prevention channel. That's below the first man-made section. But above, right here, is some love. Amor. Yes, that's right, love. This is the Locks of Love Bridge since the 80s above us. You got somebody you love here in town? Put your names on a lock it on that bridge, and throw your key into the river. Don't throw your loved one into the river. Throw the key into the river. My lock is still up there because we keep our locks. Mine's up there from high school in 1996 when I was in love with a gorgeous man. I put our names on that lock with a Sharpie, Maggie and Brad Pitt. And I'm still in love with him today. I love Brad Pitt today. He's gorgeous. So let me know if you need to go back there to the Locks of Love Bridge. And I said this is the first man-made section of the river below you, but I didn't tell you this is 10 feet deep. This is the deepest part on the tour. But where that shuttle is going north, that's where it's 25 feet deep. We're not going there. We're just going to stay in the 10 feet. The flood prevention channel below you was dug through the city, man-made, because downtown San Antonio flooded every 10 years for 300 years. And after the 3rd century of flooding, we finally did something. We dug this trench below you through the city to protect us and finished the construction in 1941, when then we called downtown flood. They also have a 1,056-pound black marlin fish, a 10,000 prehistoric Irish elk, and is also home to the Texas Rangers Museum. The Texas Rangers are our elite law enforcement here in Texas. So when you go in, if you go over to your right, you'll see the Texas Rangers exhibits, and then to the left and up the stairs will be the buckhorn. Okay? You can take all the pictures you want, but you cannot touch anything in there. Don't touch the animals, okay? The building here on our left is City Hall. This is where the mayor of San Antonio runs the city. So all the city business is run here out of City Hall. Coming up on our left is San Fernando Cathedral, one of the oldest cathedrals in Texas. And this is where our main event will be tonight. On the right hand side are our courthouses. The one on the right is the newer courthouse.
The red brick one is the old courthouse. There's a tunnel that goes underground so you can go from one section to the other. And now you'll see part of the Riverwalk.